how the clarinet works, right? You don't know how it works? It's very hard to play well. In fact, I think of it, and I have been talking to people who feel that the clarinet is the violin of the wind instruments. Does everybody understand how hard it is to play the violin? I'm sure you do because you've heard lots of people do it badly. The clarinet was developed actually as two instruments, believe it or not. A long, long time ago, before Mozart's time, so that's a long time ago. Before, see, Mozart died, 1791 at age 30-something, and he was born in the 1750s. The early part of the 1700s, there were two instruments that did the clarinet's job. One of the instruments was called a chalumeau, and it played the low notes, and a clarion played the high notes. Basically, if you had parts written for them, if you're playing orchestra, one guy, they'd take two people to play like one part. So the one guy would play the low notes, and the other guy would play the high notes. So they would have to break the parts up. Well, the big revolution was that you could combine both of those instruments in one package by using this thing called a register key. This is the key that gets the most work on the clarinet. You see that there? I'm pushing. Of course, I'll give you the quick dissertation on how all of this mouthpiece stuff works. Okay, first of all, you have a mouthpiece that looks like a beak, right? You see that? I do my own sound effects too. Howard, how are you? Come on in. Talk about clarinets. You may have noticed, since I have about 5 of them up here, actually only 3. This is the mouthpiece, and instead of, like, if you blow air through it, you get nothing. Except maybe feeling faint and wanting to fall over. You need something to vibrate, because all wind instruments, this is all basic stuff. I teach this stuff when I teach young kids, but it's an interesting reminder. In order to make music, music is the movement of air, right? It's in its most basic form. You know that every time you pull up to a stoplight, some dude next to you has got boom, boom, boom. Those speakers are moving lots and lots of air. The reed has to vibrate, and that's what this thing does. It vibrates, okay? Basically, it's a piece of cane, special kind of bamboo stuff, as my daughter would say. And you hold it with this thing called ligature. You know what ligatures are. You use them to choke people when you want to kill them. Or you use them on your clarinet when you want to hold the reed on. Of course, this ligature is not an old-time one. It's a very modern, high-end thing, because I always fall for any gimmick when it comes to sounding better or making it better through equipment. So this is actually kind of a cool thing. But anyway, the clarinet, though, very old. So you stick to the sound, of course, is horrible. Sorry about that. But that's the sound it makes until you put it on the instrument. You play the instrument, then it gets better. Things get better, hopefully. So there's a tie into Mozart. Mozart was the first composer to write for the clarinet because one of his buddies, Mozart wrote lots of concertos for his friends. I have a quick trivia question. Does anybody know what instruments Mozart hated the most? He had 2 instruments he had particular contempt for.
Clarinet.
No, not at all. The flute. Yes, the flute. He hated the flute. He absolutely despised the flute. I don't know why, but he despised the flute. His other least favorite instrument was the trombone.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.